Okay, so you all recall when Chris Rock said he was not prepared to poke fun at what occurred between him, Will Smith, and Jada. Well, seems as though he is at long last prepared for individuals that don't have any idea what everyone know Wilson and his significant other was in her child's companions. And Kid Chris Rock was all firearms bursting on Will and Jada. And let me let you know he was not keeping down. I ordinarily wouldn't discuss this yet for reasons unknown these put run on the web. Then he proceeded to say that Jada talking Will about undermining him was the very most minimal low we, as a whole been undermined everyone in him, been undermined, not a single one of us have at any point been evaluated by the individual that undermined us on TV. And the feature was the way Chris called Will the boo word on recurrent. It was insane. Now, clearly, Chris and the Smiths have a set of experiences that we as a whole have some familiarity with, most importantly at the Oscars. In 2016, one of his most memorable jokes was about Jada, who might have delivered a video at the time saying she was boycotting the honor show because of its absence of variety. And in his initial speech, Chris made fun of Jada, flew off the handle. Jana says she's not coming to scent. And I'm like, Jaden will blacklist to ask you Jada blacklist in the Oscars. Resembled me kid caught in Rihanna's underwear. I wasn't welcomed then there was their scandalous experience that occurred at the Oscars in 2022. At the point when Chris was in front of an audience to declare the champ of the best narrative, and he made a joke that he was anticipating seeing Jada and G.I. Jane too in light of her hairstyle. Jada, I love you, G.I. Jane too, can hardly hold on to see everything right, so at first will appear to be good with the joke. And he even grinned when Chris made the joke, yet after Jada strongly feigned exacerbation, Will immediately strolled in front of an audience and slapped Chris to exacerbate the situation during his acknowledgement discourse for Best Entertainer later in the night. Will apologize to the foundation, however, not to Chris when the episode happened. Chris went on his inner self-passing visit at Boston's Wilbur Theater. And as per reports, he was welcomed by the sold-out swarm at the loaded Wilbur Theater with a thunderous applause that endured a few minutes as fans stood up, foot down, and afterwards stood up again to extol him. At the time, he told his girl, proud that he didn't have kids, about what occurred, so assuming that they went to hear that they would be disheartened. And I'm certain they were. Chris likewise noticed that he was still sort of handling what occurred, and that eventually he would discuss it, and it would be significant, and it would be interesting. And you all, he was dead serious when he said that Chris at long last referred to that hot slap, yet added a little merciless turn to his perspective. And when he said that Jada hurt Will more than he hurt him, he was alluding to her trap with August Alsina, who guaranteed that he and Jada engaged in extramarital relations in 2016, saying that it was with Will's full information and consent. Obviously, Chris was all over virtual entertainment. After that, with individuals saying that vengeance is to be sure best served cold, like this person, who wrote in his reaction, Will Smith began it, yet Chris Rock Will completed. He stayed silent for nearly 12 months yet. As it's been said, retribution, his best served code. And Chris is serving it in the main manner he knows. Essentially, supporters said that the way that he kept quiet the entire year and decided to communicate it through his craft and bring in cash from it was splendid. Others then again said that they expected, really saying that Chris had the entire year to concoct something. Yet all he did was call Will the B word again and again. While during the time spent Wayne's serpent Jada, a few likewise said that we shouldn't permit ourselves to be diverted by ongoing occasions in light of the fact that Chris has done a few pretty wrecked things himself, like making dark jokes that made white individuals sufficiently agreeable to chuckle at individuals of color. As one devotee said, we should not forget where Chris Rock made his bed. Individuals effectively forget because of ongoing occasions and Netflix stand-ups. Yet a ton of us would have done to Chris Rock what Will Smith did in 2022 for making quips about dark people that make white individuals agreeable to chuckle at. And they were alluding to a very awkward discussion that he had with Louis Ricky and Jerry, better believe it. I wouldn't utilize it anyplace. No, precisely these two. You're in front of an audience. In front of an audience, you all don't. That is, yes, that is correct. That is correct, no doubt, except for that, is most certainly a matching you're in front of an audience. We don't, you just did definitely. That is correct. No doubt you and me know well. Would you call it slight in the event that it's something that many individuals discuss constantly, and Chris was referring to them like their relationship is one of only a handful of exceptional, that even individual superstars transparently discuss, particularly reports about them being pleasure seekers. They're both sexually unbiased. They do peculiar things in their home. And young fellows have gone out shouting to move away from them in their mentorship. And that is not all Panther right needed to say by the manner in which I'm saying that due to the craftsmen that I just addressed in the no so distant past that got welcome to a party at their home, everything was cool front and center. So they went to the back, and it was a lot of old young men back there all stripped in the swim house. There was additionally Tisha Campbell, who recommended that Will Smith was having something happening with her ex Dwayne Martin and Alexis Arquette, who said that Will and Jada are both bi, and that Will took care of his most memorable spouse after she strolled in on him with one more man while uncovering Will. She wrote in a Facebook post, when Jada emerges as gay and her facial hair husband concedes his most memorable marriage finished, which he strolled in on him overhauling his friendly benefactor Benny Medina, then I will pay attention to them. And afterward, there was that time Trisha Paytas expressed this about Will. What about stress over your tricking husband? My male artists, you know, when they would have rather not. And we should not likewise fail to remember what Will and Jada have likewise said about their relationship that just made it look substantially more sus. For example, Jada told HuffPost, I've generally told Will you can do anything you desire as long as you can look yourself in the mirror and be okay on the grounds that by the day's end, Will is his own man. I'm here as his accomplice. Yet he is his own man. He needs to conclude who he needs to be. And that is not for me to accomplish for him, or the other way around. Jada, what you discussing in addition to she's additionally said multiple times that she's never needed to get hitched in any case. There's such a lot of strain, you know, being a youthful entertainer, being youthful and pregnant. I was very much as I didn't have any idea what to do yet. I just realized I was like I never needed to be hitched. Well, Jada, additionally, explicitly said that the most insane gossip she's caught wind of her relationship with Will is that they are pleasure seekers when she told Diversion. This evening I've heard everything their marriage isn't genuine. He's gay, she's gay. They swing yet toward the day's end. Individuals want to accept what they want to trust one thing will. And I haven't arrived to do resembles what's genuine as far as we're concerned is what's genuine as far as we're concerned. So you can either buy into on that trend or not yet. Is it actually talk that they're pleasure seekers in any case the way